If you want to learn how to do the crispiest middle part flow, you've come to the right place. Strap in, grab some popcorn, and get ready, because we're in for a transformation right here. Alright, so to start off, I like to saturate the entire head because we're going to be doing scissor work on the top and the sides. I like to divide my client's top from the sides, and I do this by making a horseshoe section from the crown to each recession. Now we're going for some graduation on the sides because we all want it to flow backwards nicely once it's nice and styled. And I'll do this by cutting equal diagonal sections all around the perimeter of the head. Now this first section on the taper area is very important because it sets the foundation for the rest of the head. For this first section, I like to apply a lot of tension and just take it finger tight. And that's because we're going to be tapering into it later. Now I'm just going to comb out diagonally and take my next section, combing it out and matching to the first section that we made before. It's really hard to grab these sections diagonally, so I'm just taking my time and getting the right finger position to make it all fall evenly. As you can see, I'm just taking another section and matching it to my guide, and I'm going to repeat this process on both sides, going about all the way until the back of the head. Now for the back of the head, I'm trying to leave a little bit more weight than I did on the sides, so I'm just gonna layer it and kind of match it to the graduation that we have going on. As you can see, I'm setting my profile section down the middle, and then I'm just taking vertical sections and matching it to that guide. Alright, now it's all flowing nicely, but just to get it super clean, I see some areas that have a little bit more weight than I'd like, so I'm grabbing my feather razor and just slicing through it. Essentially, I'm just grazing the surface of the hair, and this removes bulk efficiently while making it flow nice. And since the bottom of the hair is just about impossible to grab, I'm just taking my scissors and slicing horizontally to establish the end of the mullet. And now coming into that taper, I just like to grab my 3-guard lever open and debulk, establishing the canvas for our taper. Now I'm grabbing my trimmers and setting my bald line just about where the ear ends to keep it super low. Now for our first guideline, we're gonna grab our no guard lever open and just establish it, then fade into it half closed and then fully closed. Then for our next guideline, we're gonna grab our 1 guard fully open and just inch up at that line, kind of flicking out, trying to keep it as soft as possible. And now for our next step, I'm just gonna grab my 2 guard fully open and start flicking out, kind of blending into the length that we already established. It's not gonna remove the line fully, but we're gonna soften it a little later. Now I'm gonna grab my 1.5 guard and come in fully open, getting rid of that middle guideline between the 1 and the 2. Once that's not taking any hair, I just close up the lever and inch up even more. Now to blend from skin to the 1 guard, I'm gonna grab my half guard and just inch up at that 1 line. I'm coming in fully open, then half closed, and then fully closed to completely get rid of that guideline. Now for any remaining bulk that's kind of messing with the taper, I just grab my thinning shears and start inching up slightly. I don't overdo it because it could really mess up the taper, but once you see that's nice and blended, just stop and move on. Here I'm just lining up around the ear, inching up very, very lightly to keep it nice and natural. And same thing applies for the C-cup. It's all gonna be flowing backwards, so there's no point in pushing him back or making the line up too visible. I'm just tapping at that C-cup, trying to get it a little bit sharper. Great, with our sides now fully finished, it's time to connect the length on top to the length on the sides. And I do this by leaving a profile section down the middle and combing the rest to its respective side. Now you can't see it here very well, but there's a very, very clear weight line, and I'm just gonna match the top to that on the sides. I'm kind of sloping down towards the front because we want to keep the curtain bangs a little bit longer. Now to set our profile section down the middle, I'm just going to grab some hair from the back and use that as a guide for the top. I'm making this line rounded all the way to the front to keep the bangs a little bit longer and define the shape of the haircut. Great, and now with our 2 guides fully set, we're gonna grab that profile section and just comb it to one side. And now when we grab horizontal sections going all the way from the back all the way to the front, we're gonna see that clear difference, and we're gonna be snipping that hair that's in the middle, effectively matching both sections. I'm really trying to point cut the entire time to give that hair some texture. The gist of this haircut is connection. Once your hair is all connected nicely, it should flow perfect. Now I just established a triangle section, so similar to the horseshoe, but there's a straight line coming from the crown all the way to the recession. And I'm gonna use this section just to cross-check and match the lengths evenly. When I comb out the section vertically, I can see any overhanging hair and I just snip it. Now to really get that graduation popping, we're gonna have to style it. First off, I apply some sea salt spray, and once that's spread evenly throughout the hair, I start from the back, moving forward, and I'm just blow drying the hair backwards. You should start to see that graduation coming in no time. And I'm also not afraid to hit the middle of his fringe, because that's gonna be flowing backwards, but we're gonna have the sides come in and kind of swoop out as curtains. It's looking pretty good, but I decided to elevate the look just a little bit more by applying some matte pomade. Just rub it evenly in your hands and spread thoroughly throughout the hair. Now I'm just blow drying again on low heat to get that pomade nice and melted, and I'm also kind of lifting the curtains a little bit to get some more volume in the front. Now one thing we have to do before we finish the haircut is, wait, where am I going? What's happening? What's happening?
Las Vegas strip tonight. Slip that on and we might miss the fight. Fuck a night, I keep the wallet in my shorty bag. You know she one of mine when she tattooed that ass. I'm a lover boy.
Alright, that just about does it for this tutorial. If you enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe. It helps out greatly. And also leaving a comment would be greatly appreciated. Any feedback is welcome, so just go crazy. Without further ado, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.